Discovering Sydney, unveiling the secrets of a vibrant city. Today, we embark on an exhilarating journey through time as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Sydney's captivating past. Join me as we unearth some of the most exciting and unique historical facts about the magnificent city of Sydney. Prepare for a spine-tingling adventure as we dive into the heart of Sydney's oldest neighbourhoods. Sydney is the largest city in Australia, both in terms of population, which is over 5 million, and land area. It is the capital of the state of New South Wales and is located on the southeastern coast of the country. Sydney is a high-ranking world city and has hosted multiple major international sporting events, including the 1938 British Empire Games, now known as the Commonwealth Games, and the 2000 Summer Olympics. To truly understand the history of Sydney, we must acknowledge and appreciate its indigenous heritage. Before the arrival of Europeans, the area was home to the Eora and Darug Aboriginal peoples who lived in the area for 50,000 years, and their cultural heritage is an integral part of the city's history. Sydney was once known as Warrain to the Eora people, meaning the place where the waters are calm. They lived harmoniously with nature, creating intricate rock engravings, and passing down their cultural traditions for generations. The arrival of Captain James Cook marked the beginning of a new chapter in Sydney's history. Let's explore how this bustling metropolis came into existence. After Cook's voyage, Captain Arthur Phillip and the First Fleet arrived in Sydney Cove, marking the beginning of British colonisation in Australia. On the 13th of May 1787, a fleet of 11 ships set sail from Portsmouth, England. With them, they took seeds, farm implements, livestock and 2 years' supply of food. Sydney was named after Thomas Townshend, Lord Sydney. He became British Secretary of State in 1783 and recommended the British establish a colony in Australia. At first, things were difficult for the colonists and food was short, although Phillip sent a ship to South Africa for more provisions, which returned in May 1789. Food was rationed and the rations were anything but generous. Things gradually improved. A second fleet arrived in Australia in 1790 and a third fleet came in 1791. At first, the settlers in Sydney lived in simple wooden huts, but later convicts made bricks for houses. Sydney soon emerged as the capital, and its growth was fueled by convict labour and the pursuit of wealth during the Australian Gold Rush. Sydney grew at a phenomenal rate through the 19th century, even though transportation to New South Wales ended in 1840. By 1861 the population of Sydney was 56,000 and it was a flourishing town. In 1901, Sydney witnessed the birth of a nation. The Federation united the states, and Sydney became the capital of New South Wales, radiating with newfound pride and confidence. As news of gold discoveries spread in the 19th century, Sydney experienced a population boom. The city's harbour became a hub of maritime activity, linking Australia to the rest of the world. The city played a significant role in Australia's development, particularly during the gold rush of the 1850s. Now let's look at the Rocks, Sydney's oldest neighbourhood, which is situated on the southern shore of Sydney Harbour and is known for its rich history and preserved colonial architecture. The story of the Rocks begins in 1788 when the First Fleet and early settlers initially set up their camp in the Rocks area, which provided a convenient landing point and access to fresh water. It evolved into a vibrant community, where cultures mingled, and stories were shared over a pint of ale. The Rocks has undergone significant revitalization and transformation. Many of the historic buildings have been restored and repurposed into galleries, boutiques, restaurants, and pubs. The area has become a popular tourist destination, attracting visitors with its cobblestone streets, colonial-era architecture, and stunning views of the harbour. But no exploration of Sydney's history would be complete without mentioning its most recognisable landmarks, the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Sydney Opera House. The unique sail-like structure attracts millions of visitors each year. We'll delve into the fascinating stories behind their construction, the challenges faced, and their enduring significance as symbols of the city. In the 19th century, Sydney experienced rapid growth and significant infrastructure development, including the construction of roads, bridges, and public buildings. The construction of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, often called the coat hanger, due to its distinct shape, which completed in 1932, was a monumental feat of engineering, connecting the north and south shores of the harbour. The task of building Sydney Harbour Bridge began on July 1923 and opened on the 19th of March 1932. The new bridge was 3,770 feet long. The span of the main bridge was 1,650 feet. Visitors can climb to the top of the bridge for panoramic views of the city. However, did you know that there is another bridge in Sydney with a fascinating backstory? That is the Gladesville Bridge, which opened in 1964 and was designed to replace the aging Tarban Creek Bridge. During World War II, Sydney faced the threat of enemy attacks. The city rallied together, blacking out the lights and preparing for the unknown. The Harbour Bridge served as a symbol of resilience and unity. Now it's time to look at an amazing piece of art in Sydney, Opera House. Sydney Opera House was opened on the 20th of October 1973 by Queen Elizabeth II. But the design of the Sydney Opera House by architect Jan Utzon was initially met with skepticism and faced numerous challenges during its construction. A Danish architect named Jan Utzon won an international competition to design the Opera House in 1957. However, it took 14 years to build, and Utzon himself resigned in 1966. Opera House ultimately became a symbol of architectural brilliance and cultural significance. In 2007, UNESCO made Sydney Opera House a World Heritage Site. Sydney has witnessed various historical events, including World War II, which saw the city's involvement in defence and military efforts. But Sydney today is modern marvels and cultural fusion. Sydney is a diverse and multicultural city, known for its harbour, cosmopolitan atmosphere, and significance in finance, tourism, and the arts. Plan your next trip to Sydney and you will not be disappointed with a lot to adventure. And that's the end of a short journey to Sydney's past, a city with a captivating history that continues to shape its present. From its indigenous roots to its modern marvels, this city never ceases to amaze. Hope you enjoyed. Please join us next time as we uncover more fascinating stories from around the world. Until then, keep exploring.